Hey, welcome in everybody to Live Weather Impact. I'm Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich here on this gorgeous Wednesday evening. Boy, what a day. It was unbelievable out there. Chamber of Commerce Day for sure. Temperatures were in the low to mid 70s. It was beautifully sunny, but it was a cold start this morning. We started in the upper 30s to low 40s. In fact, we jumped about 35 degrees in some areas from the morning low to the afternoon high. So it was a pretty dramatic change. We'll take a view out there right now. As you know, and I don't have to tell you, it's dark already. That early sunset still kind of hard to get used to because it's happening during our 5 o'clock newscast now. 5:25 today was the sunset. So it's happening quick, which means by 6, the temperature's fallen already. That's the other thing. This time of year, when the sun goes down, that temperature falls quickly. We had like a 10 to 15 degree drop between 5 and 6 o'clock because the sun was going down pretty much at the bottom of the hour. Let me show you the high temperature and low temperature today. There you go, 42, exactly where you're supposed to be in the morning, but 73 this afternoon. That's way up there. I mean, you're 7 degrees above average, when you're only, 8 degrees from the record. So it's a pretty warm day. And by the way, the record only being 81 tells you that we're in that time of year. When records are 81, it's starting to get cool out there. The average high 66 and 42, which is going to continue to trend down, by the way, as we go through the next couple of months here until we get to the first day of winter coming up. It's about a month and a half from now as we get towards the 22nd of December. Some high clouds. We had a dry front today. So if you wondered where the wind came from, that dry cold front, which means it doesn't have any rain with it. It just kicked up the winds, and we will see a pretty dramatic wind shift tonight from the southwest eventually to the north. Low temperatures this morning. This is what I'm talking about. Look how cold it was. If you're in Lincoln, it's 34 this morning. It was 42 in Charlotte, 37 Rock Hill, 37 Concord, 35 Albemarle. But then this afternoon, we're in the mid 70s. So it's pretty dramatic turnaround. Now, we had the fire danger today. We'll likely see this tomorrow, probably not to the extreme that we had today because the winds won't be quite as gusty. But two things don't change tomorrow. The dry fuels, which are the brush and leaves, the dormant vegetation, that's not going anywhere. The dry air, that's not going anywhere. The only thing we get tomorrow is maybe cut about 5 to 10 miles per hour, I should say, off of those wind speeds. And just to give you a heads up, that could be a problem. So tonight, not as cold, up mid to upper 40s. I think it'll be one of those nights we might barely drop below 50. So very comfortable weather out there tonight. And then tomorrow, I'll call it not as warm because it's still above average. Remember, the average high is 66, so 69 puts you at 3 degrees above. But notice the wind direction northeast tomorrow, not southwest like we had today. So a lot to talk about over the next 4 days without a lot of weather. And what I mean by that is we've got a series of dry cold fronts. One there, another one, it's not as dry, but it's pretty dry as it approaches us Saturday morning. Could bring us a few showers, and a third front on Sunday. Let's break this down further because the front today, obviously no issues into tomorrow. The front, though, for Friday night, Saturday, will probably produce some pretty strong storms to our west, but they will weaken dramatically as they head in our direction. But we're still likely going to see some rain, but this is the perfect kind of rain. This is 2 o'clock in the morning. Saturday morning. So it's raining in the mountains and foothills. By 3-4, it's moving across the Piedmont. So you're getting rain, but it's falling while we're sleeping, and it's the overnight rain. And then by the time you wake up, 9 a.m., it's sunny, it's dry, it's a beautiful Saturday. A lot of stuff going on this weekend. Friday night, obviously, Charlotte FC, home match, winner take all against New York City. That's going to be a huge game. Should be no weather issues there. Sunday, Panthers at home, no issue there. So that's why the timing of all this is pretty ideal. But this will be the headlines. We've got a big cool down for Monday into Tuesday. We're talking high temperatures probably in the 40s, low temperatures upper 20s. So this will be like a taste of January weather here in November. By the way, the coldest our average high gets in January is 51. So anytime we're seeing highs around 47, 48, 49, that's kind of typical of January. And I'm holding out. Jeb, I don't know about you. Have you turned your heat on yet?
No, I never turn the heat on.
No.
Nope. Bundle up.
Yes. I'm the same way, just because it's cold in the morning, but the afternoons are so nice. So
it was 73 today.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but next week might change your mind. And it's not because of the mornings. I can get through the cold mornings. Like you said, if it's 73 or 68 even, it's fine. When we only get to 47, when it doesn't warm up during the afternoon, that's kind of the key for me. I'm probably going to have to turn the heat on next week. So I try to make it to Thanksgiving. That's always my goal. But I don't think this year I'm going to make it. So let's talk about that cold snap. Here comes the front. Friday night, Saturday morning, that moves through. Again, the next front here is Saturday night, Sunday. We don't really feel it, though, till Sunday night, Monday. And there's the northwest flow. So a lot of social media buzz, people posting long-range model guidance of snow. Hey, this is not going to snow outside of the mountains. This is going to be northwest flow, typical cold front winter setup. The lakes are wide open, so some cold air spilling over the warm waters of the Great Lakes does produce long-range lake effect. We call it northwest flow. So, yeah, those typical spots, Beach, Sugar, Howard's Knob, Roan Mountain, Mount Mitchell, Grayson Highlands up there, Mount Rogers. So those typical spots that get northwest flow could see the first measurable snow of the season. And if you think it's early, it's not. It's actually right on schedule. The first average measurable snow in the mountains for areas like Banner Elk typically right around Veterans Day, which is Tuesday. That's November 11th. So kind of makes sense that we would see some of the first snow. But I think this is the bigger story for all of us. So if you have the vegetable garden, the summer garden going, this might be it next week. 27, that's not a little frost. That's not a light freeze. That's a moderate to borderline hard freeze, because that means you're going to spend probably 6-7 hours below freezing. That's going to kill everything that's tender. So your summer plants, your vegetables, it won't make the grass go dormant. That's more of a soil temperature thing, so you got to get the soil temperature. But this also will knock the bugs down, especially the mosquitoes, fleas, and ticks. They never go away, by the way. They don't kill them completely. It just knocks them down. And then we see temperatures again on Wednesday near freezing. So 2 nights of that, I would suspect we're probably going to see an end to the growing season coming up early next week. So if you got the garden going, just heads up, it might be time to give it a rest. And hey, you made it to the second week of November. That's pretty good for the growing season. Here's a look at that cold air. That's Sunday, 70s for Panthers. Then look at this. We cooled down into the 18 in Boone. That is going to be chilly with some snow up there. I bet the ski resorts will try to make snow and maybe get a slope or two open just to say they're open before Thanksgiving. But we'll see. I don't think they'll last long because we're going to warm back up next week. So the weekend forecast, mid-70s. Quick look at your Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast. Look at that dramatic cool down. Big impact with that change on Monday. I'm going to go 10 days out just to show you, yeah, it's cold, but it's a 2-day cold snap. We're back in the upper 60s by Wednesday and the end of next week. So, yeah, it's a cold snap, but it's not prolonged. Just prepare yourself now. That will be a dramatic change coming up early next week.